Another month, another budget video. Hey guys, welcome back to another budget video, and we are officially in October. I'm so excited. It's like literally kind of like 3 months before the year ends, and like I said in my previous budget video, I am just done with 2022. Also, if you are ticking in the background, my sincere apologies. I'm currently making lunch and so the timer is on the oven. October has been interesting, and I want to tell you why for a lot of reasons. Number one, Courtney got paid a little extra, which is always a fun thing, which I originally first thought, wait, you actually got paid less, but it was because I'm officially on his medical aid now, so it's part of a deduction. And when I go into my spreadsheet, the only total I put in there is his amount after his deductions, because I don't add that in. But I put in medical aid into my Excel spreadsheet, and so when he told me his total, I was like, oh my word, you actually like really short, or we short. And I'd forgotten that now my medical aid, which is part of his, because I'm a spouse on his one, is part of his deductions. I was a bit cooking on that part, but then I immediately realized my mistake, took it out, and I was like, okay, we kind of okay. And then I got paid extra from my full-time job. So usually I get a increase in October, November, and I obviously had done my spreadsheet already. And then on the 26th of September, my manager called, or she's not actually the manager, she's the COO, and she was like, hey, just so an FYI, we're giving you your increase now, and it's above inflation, which I'm like so happy about. Honestly, I would have been okay with less, just because I know what is happening currently, and not that I am valuing myself less, it's just that I knew more or less kind of what's happening in the company, etc. And I'm actually really happy about the increase I got, because it really helped us this month, particularly with the long list of extras I'm going to tell you about. And also something happened to us in the month of September that we also have to still deal with. Overall, our income has increased, which is always a blessing, which I'm always grateful for, and I'm happy about that. For recurring expenses, guys, I try to do this experiment where I do every second week, because if you take a month, it's usually 4 weeks, and if you get paid like on the 21st, you kind of calculate that it's 4 weeks until the next 21st of the next month. And my goal was to, like, every second week just buy poultry, like just buy chicken breast and make like different chicken dishes with it, so that I could see that the price of grocery at least going down. The week before payday, I had done that, and my bill was 500 rand, and I was like, what? Because usually for a week I've been paying between like 1,000 and 1,500 depending what I buy. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that experiment again. And then we ended up in the second week of this month already, so I'm filming this already. This is like my 3rd week, I guess, because Courtney got paid on the 23rd, so it made things a little off. Anyway, it hasn't gone too well. I still want to do the experiment because groceries are just insane, and I've obviously spoken about this. Petrol's still the same. Obviously it's going down again by a rand, so I'm very excited about that. Sorry for those who are on diesel. You know, you win some, you lose some. For personal care had gone up by 350 rand, but there was reasons for that, because a lot of our stuff was on special, and so I had to look at it from this perspective. I'm not gonna buy shower gel, I'm not gonna buy toothpaste, I'm not gonna buy sanitary towels for the next 3 months. So I could justify why it went up by 350 rand. For policies all stayed the same. However, my funeral policy had gone up by 30 rand. So because I took it out in October last year, it goes up yearly. The same with all my other policies that go up in June. Debt has more or less stayed the same. I paid a little bit extra on Mr. Price, as I mentioned in my previous video. We abused that account, so I want to kind of really just pay the whole thing off and then reduce it. My mom's thing I'm still paying for, and that will be for the next few months. And then we paid extra on Courtney's loan, which, funny enough, before I got my increase, before I even known that I was going to get an increase this month, we were actually going to put another pause on it, and you'll hear now in why. But we managed to like put that in, and I was starting to feel guilty as well, because it's one thing to pause for 1 month, it's another thing when you have a full-on schedule on trying to get Courtney's debt in order and to finish it at a certain time, and then not like, and then starting to do pauses in every single month, which is fine because it's life, unexpected things happen, and yeah, but luckily I was able to do that. For savings, we put money in emergency fund, we put money in our excess fund, and we put a lot more money into savings account, just because again we had a little bit more extra money to kind of play around with, and I said I would rather put the extra money into a save. Like these tiny expenses keep propping up every month, and I don't mind depleting that savings every time, but I just want to know that there is money available that I could use for when those unnecessary things do creep up. For subscriptions, I've also said the same, and then for extras, this is where the fun part starts. So originally on my Excel spreadsheet, I only had I had to pay Victoria Hospital because they had sent me their bill, which was not too bad, and then I only had the dentist, and I've been saying I was gonna go to the dentist for how many months, and I said, oh no, I have to go now, like it's a non-negotiable. And I think there was something else on there, I don't recall what it was. Oh, we were gonna take my mom out for lunch because it was her 60th birthday, and unfortunately Courtney was unable to attend the actual lunch that she had, so we took her out, and there were a few miscellaneous things that kind of crept up as well. I put everything in there. I put takeouts in there, so we did takeout. I went to the park and put books warehouse sale, and this time I said I'm only going in for 4 books, and I only went and bought 4 books. Courtney bought him a top. I put, honestly, I have to calculate and put all of these things in because otherwise I don't know where my money goes. Then I got on a migraine episode the day before Courtney got paid, and so unexpectedly I went to the doctor, and my doctor's fee is like, when I go, even if it was just for 5-10 minutes, it's 550 rand. So that's a lot of money that was not originally in the budget. Again, the reason why I am so paranoid about trying to put more money into saving. Then I had pills that she then gave me. She gave me an antibiotic, and that costed me 300 rand. Again, not a part of the budget. And then I ended up going to the dentist because my GP was like, listen, we figured out that I had a cavity, and she said that we have to fix that because those type of things plays with the nerves in your head. So we're giving it a week. It's only been 2 days since I've had my filling done and my teeth cleaned finally, so we're giving it a week, and then if I still have these head issues, then I have to go privately through a neurologist. I'm monitoring it now to see how far I need to go, but I'm also building up my savings so that if I do need to go and see this neurologist, which is privately, I want to know that I have that money available. So my dentist was 1,500 rand, which I know was a lot. I only budgeted 4,000 rand, but it's fine. Like I said, I had to get that done. Also, why I made the title why emergency funds are like so important. My husband was in an accident about 3 weeks ago, and he didn't cause the accident, someone else did, but obviously you have to pay the excess fees. And if this had happened to us say 2 years ago, Courtney and I would have had to take a loan out. We would have had to take and maybe increase my credit card or borrow the money or some sorts. But honestly, as much as I am anxious to take that money out, I'm also relieved that I actually have an emergency fund where I'm able to pay that excess fee. Obviously, I know that I will get the money back, but it depends how long I'm gonna get that money back. So that is why I think, even though you're busy with your debt, please try and build an emergency fund, because a thing like an accident has like occurred to us, and dealing with insurance is a whole nother territory that I am now learning. I think the thing is that if you're not in it, if something hasn't happened to you, then you don't know how these insurances work. And I'm glad we do have insurance. The only crappy thing is that we didn't take a courtesy car, and when this whole shebang thing is done, I'm definitely putting a courtesy car on our insurance. But our car still drives. I'll show a picture of what the car looks like in terms of damage. It's not that bad, but obviously with insurance and going through third parties and going through panel beaters, they put their own little markup on, and we're trying to sort that out. Honestly, if we didn't have an emergency fund, we would have been so screwed with all the bills that we've been getting and all these unexpected things that prop up. It's just like a little bit of relief. I think that's my thing, and I have to remind myself that even though I did get this increase, to not go and add more expenses to my plate. 2 things that I want to mention. Number 1, I'll link it below, but there is a cool ebook that I think you guys should download, and it's all about debt. It's a 21-page book. It's the podcast that I used to listen to, which was called The Fat Wallet. They no longer have the podcast, but the episodes are still available like online or on podcasts. I think it's on Spotify. I know it's on Apple because I have Apple. Also, the other thing I want to mention is that there's a cool money show on Netflix, and it's called Get Smart with Money. It is like an hour and 30-minute thing, and they showcase 4 different people in 4 different money issues that they want to tackle, and so they get a money coach that helps them, and it's 4 different aspects of it, which I think is super cool. I enjoyed it. Obviously it's got the American flavor to it, but the principles are all the same. The only thing I wish that they had on the show was showing when you try going on it and you break down or you pause in it, or because a lot of us, when we do go through our debt-free journey, it's not an easy road to go to, and I know that I've fallen off the wagon multiple times, and I wish they had shown that in there, not to kind of make people, when you're honest, you have to stick to it, which you have to do it if you want to get out of debt. But I think I wish they showed that part of like what happens when you do fall off the wagon, you know, or like a major thing happens, and how do you get yourself back up and motivate yourself. This video would have been a whole lot different and I didn't get my increase. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions for me, if you have anything to ask me, let me know in the comments below. But go ahead and download that ebook. It's free of charge. Like there's nothing to it. I don't know if they're gonna ask you to subscribe to the newsletter, which I think you should, because they have a newsletter every Monday, and I think it's so amazing. Also, I'm gonna link below my podcast that I was on with Brandon. I remember that I actually did this podcast, and he tweeted me again like on his platform saying like, oh, you guys should like listen to it, and I think he told me it's one of the most listened to episode on his whole podcast, which I think is so cool. And thank you for you guys who had listened to it. But I'll link it below if you have not listened to it, about how I got out of debt and how we're still trying to get my husband out of debt. Thank you so much for watching another budget video with me, and I hope that you are still on your debt-free journey, that you're still persevering, even though our financial climate in South Africa it's something else. We're not gonna go there. We're trying to stay positive on the channel. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.